I'd just like to share some ideas of what I'm grateful for. I've been a priest for a number of years, since 1981, and I think some of the moments in my ministry as a priest are those for which I'm most grateful. But they're not the moments for which I prepared. They were moments when I could feel the grace of God touch me in a very powerful way. One of them occurred when I was a student in Rome. I was working in a storefront parish, and it was a Saturday night Mass. This is a very poor area of Rome. There were 8 ladies in church and 1 man. The man was a wino, so by the time I got to the Lord have mercy, the ladies had picked him up and thrown him in the street. And of the 8 ladies, I asked them all to do the readings. And only one of them knew how to read. So she did the readings. After Mass, the pastor comes in the sacristy, says, "Jude, you can never have her read again." I says, "Why not? She did a great job." He says, "You don't know her past. Until last December, she ran the local house of prostitution. She just retired." So I says, "Okay, I won't have her read." Well, 2 minutes later, she comes in and says, "Jude, I got to talk to you next Saturday." She comes in, says, "I want to go to confession." And I said, "Do you know how to do it?" She says, "No, it's been a while." So we did the sign of the cross. I said, "What do you mean a while? 2 months, 2 years?" She said, "No, Jude, it's been 57 years. I said, "That's a while." I said, "What on earth made you want to go to confession?" She says, "Last Friday night, I had a dream that a man dressed in white," remember I wear the white robes at Mass, "a man dressed in white would ask me to read in front of the church. And whoever asked me to read, I was to go to confession to that man." I was the only dummy in the parish who would have asked her because I didn't know her past. God pushed us together that powerfully. Another time, I was giving a retreat to a group of people from a parish where I was serving. And they asked me if I might do a healing service, laying on of hands. And I wasn't into it, but they asked me, so I decided to do it. And a young lady came up and she put her hands out and I anointed them. And she was getting a little wobbly, so I held her hands a bit. And she went back, and at the end of Mass, she came up and says, "Jude, I got to tell you what happened." I said, "You don't have to, because sometimes you blurt things out. Later on, you're sorry." She says, "No, I do have to tell you. When you anointed my hands, I saw the hands of a 14-year-old girl. And that's how old I was when my father molested me. And today is the first time in my life I can forgive him." I was 3 hours away from home. I laughed and cried all the way home because I felt so strong that touch of God, the mercy of God. And the third reason I have to give thanks is the ministry in which I'm working right now. I work with our Minister General in Rome. I do a lot of traveling, a lot of different cultures, different foods. And especially nowadays, it's not easy. Yeah, being on an airplane, I'm 6'3". I feel like I'm in a sardine can. But it gives me an opportunity to offer up the sleeplessness of jet lag, the painfulness of being on a plane for 9 hours, or when I go to Australia, 16 hours, the strange foods, the strange circumstances, the feeling of not quite being at home. I get to offer those up for our friars, many of whom are going through difficulties. And it's such a privilege, such a gift that I can now share in their cross, and they don't have to carry that cross alone. And so I'm so grateful for that, because now what previously made us separate, the suffering, has now united us.